Okay, so this is the last one today, and this is Black Adam from the movie Black Adam. So it says Black Adam, just like with the Flash, where it said the Flash. So the Mary Hartmanization of the DC multiverse line continues. So again, like the Flash, uh, just one big picture on the back, no cross cell. But this time it actually is a photograph of Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. Now, this is a movie that I think I've been waiting for like literally 20 years at this point, it seems like, because like I think it was around 2000 that Dwayne Johnson, or as we called him at that time, The Rock, because he was mainly known for being a wrestler, uh, first became attached to the role of Black Adam. And originally, when they were first talking about making a Shazam movie, Dwayne Johnson's name was a name that came up, and apparently they offered him his choice of roles as to whether he would rather play the villainous Black Adam or the heroic Captain Marvel. And Dwayne, being a smart guy and knowing he had to appeal to the fans, he asked the fans, "Which one do you think I should play?" And I think he had a poll on a website or something, and the clear winner was Black Adam. They wanted to see him play Black Adam. So that was the part that he became attached to. And I guess what wound up happening is over the years, is like the project got pushed back and different people became attached to it, and Dwayne Johnson just kept being attached to it as Black Adam no matter what. But eventually, I think what happened is he became such a big star that they didn't want to just have him be the villain in a movie where some dude's playing Captain Marvel. Who knows where we're going to even play Captain Marvel at this point. It lasted long enough that DC wanted to officially call the character Shazam. And I suspect it's because of the movie and because they didn't want to say the M word in a DC movie. that's my suspicion. So anyway, what wound up happening is they decided to just do a Black Adam movie separately while Shazam was in development hell, and then I guess Black Adam ran into its own development hell, and eventually they did the Shazam movie. But you know, it's one of those things also where like at this point he was just too big a star to be, like I said, just the villain in some other dude's movie. So he had to have his own movie, and I'm hoping that like they'll wind up doing the crossover with like the third Shazam movie, the second Black Adam movie. They'll just both be the same movie, and we'll finally get the Black Adam versus Captain Marvel fight that we've always wanted. I'm still gonna call him Captain Marvel. I don't care. So we got the figure stand. Unfortunately, it's just a plain standard figure stand, not a flight stand, which would be really sweet, but just a regular figure stand. I'm happy to have a figure stand, don't get me wrong, but with a flying character, I'd like to have the flight stand. So, I got this sweet Superman action figure here with a sweet flight stand. So we might go ahead and borrow that and see how Black Adam looks on a flight stand towards the end of the video. How about that? So we can see the trading card. I'm always complaining that I would rather have artwork on the trading card rather than just a picture of the action figure that I already have. And now my wish is granted with a photograph of Dwayne Johnson in character as Black Adam. And like the background obviously is kind of photoshopped. So that's a really cool picture. I really like the picture. It's the same picture that was on the back of the package again, but it's still something new. All right, so it says Black Adam, data file. Real name, Teth Adam. Hailed as a slave who became a champion, the mortal Teth Adam was bestowed the powers of the gods, transforming him into a fearsome, superpowered being at the utterance of a single magic word, Shazam. He freed his people from the king of Kahndaq before grief over the loss of his family turned to a cold fury. and he was entombed for his vengeful actions. Nearly 5,000 years later, Black Adam is freed from his slumber and finds himself in a world which he does not recognize. Now he must try to see himself not as Kondok's destroyer, but its savior. So, yeah. Looking forward to this movie. I hope it's good. So, I figure I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to be one of those things where I enjoy it even if it's not good. Because I just love these characters. I love Black Adam. I love the Justice Society. I'm really excited to see, like, Hawkman and Dr. Fate. And if it's successful, we might see more of the Justice Society. They might spin off into their own movie, and that might be pretty cool if they get it right, you know? I mean, I want to see guys like Mr. Terrific and Dr. Midnight. Black Canary, get her in there, because she's got Justice Society connections. I want to see Power Girl, because I love Power Girl. So, all right, so we got Dwayne the Black Adam Johnson out of his package. And first thing you notice is it's a pretty damn good likeness of Dwayne Johnson. He's almost got a little bit of the people's eyebrow going on. Not quite. Like, he doesn't tend to do that so much in his movie roles, because he tries to keep the wrestling separate from the acting. But there's a lot of detail to this suit. Like, I've seen pictures of it and everything, but I kind of feel like once you get the action figure of the suit, then that's when you can really start poring over the details of it and see what's up with it. So I'm trying to get these ankle joints straight. And this is, again, like the newer type of Mcfarlane ball joint. Like, I always love these ball joints, but now it's at the point where, like, they're trying to sculpt wrinkles into it and stuff like that and make it fit a little bit better in with the boots and everything. Which, honestly, I don't really feel like it's necessary, but I ain't going to complain. So, his wrists are not on the ball joints, which kind of surprises me. But you can see that there's just like more like a standard kind of action figure wrist joint there. It's almost kind of awkward with how it fits into his fist, though. Like, you can see, like, it kind of sticks out a little bit. So, like, it's sculpted to fit in there at a certain angle. This one seems to be frozen up a little bit. I got it to move. So his shoulder joints seem a little loose over here. Not like badly loose, but they move very freely. He's got the cool butterfly joints like Mcfarlane figures usually have. His arms go up about that far. So a little farther than usual, so that's good. Of course, they rotate all the way around. Got a bicep swivel, and that rotates all the way around. Yeah, see that? You got the double joint elbows. Comes up about yay far. Like I mentioned before, don't have the ball joints at the wrists, but they do rotate all the way around and move back and forth on that hinge. So it's a little odd to not have the ball jointed wrists on a Mcfarlane figure. Look at the back of his neck. Like, he's got all these wrinkles sculpted into the back of his neck. Like, they were trying to make this as realistic as possible. Like, he looks, I don't know if it's quite coming through on the camera, but it's a really good likeness, and I think it looks better in person, at least than it does on my monitor. So, the Shazam lightning bolt looks really nice, but one thing that I noticed that's different is, like, in the movie it has more sort of that tarnished look, which I think is appropriate in a symbolic sort of way. But this one looks more like they tried to put a little more glowiness into it, like the Shazam bolt that's on Captain Marvel. Drawing a blank on the guy's name now, the actor, Chuck, I feel bad because I like him as Captain Marvel. I think he's really good. I'm going to remember it. I'm going to, probably after this video is over, I'm just going to, like, blurt it out because then I know it. But they did do a thing where, like, you can see that the bolt kind of sticks off of the upper part of his torso just a little bit. So that's good. I'd rather they do that than break it up or try to put the joint underneath, like, where it should go. Like it's still in the right place. He's got the great hip articular, not hip but waist articulation, so you can get him into lots of cool poses. So yeah, so legs, he can do the splits no problem, about that far. Uh, Legs go up about that far. He's got some pretty beefy thighs, so they don't go up like quite at a 90-degree angle, but I think they go up high enough. You could probably still get him into a really cool flight pose. I'm going to try to do that right now. He looks up about that far. That is pretty badass looking. I'm going more for like a classic Captain Marvel kind of flight pose than the Kurt Swan Superman that I try to get Superman figures into. So it's a good costume. It's pretty comic book accurate. It does add a lot more detail to it, like we're used to seeing with movie costumes. But Black Adam's costume in the comics is fairly simple. He's got like a black bodysuit with some gold wristbands and a gold sash and gold boots and a gold lightning bolt on his chest. You could interpret that as gold or yellow, whichever you like. But I think for a live-action movie, gold probably works better, I would imagine. So it seems like the rocker ankle here is kind of frozen up. He's got a rocker ankle, I know, because this one rocks. But this one seems kind of frozen up. So I'll probably hit that with hairdryer later. They did replace the sash with these cross belts, which makes sense because Shazam, Captain Marvel in that also had a belt instead of a sash. So it does kind of match up with that a little bit. All these lines sculpted into it. I'm glad this isn't what he looks like in the comic book, because he would be a pain to draw. But in a movie, it looks cool, so we ain't going to complain, are we? So Black Adam does come with 2 accessories, and it's these lightning bolts. And it looks as if the lightning bolts are made so that you can just kind of like wrap them around his arms. And much like Captain Marvel in the Shazam movie, he can, I guess, hurl lightning bolts at people, but you can kind of stick it through his arm or something. Since he's got closed fist, he can't really grab a hold of them or anything, but you can still get him, I think, onto his arms in such a way that looks pretty cool. So you can have him hold him up, and the Fury of the Gods. Oh wait, that's the name of the Shazam sequel, isn't it? But I think that looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and, even though he doesn't come with a flight stand, if you want to put him on a flight stand, let's see what he looks like on one. So we're just going to borrow Superman's for a minute. Superman's a generous guy, so he's not going to mind helping me out. Now, Black Adam's torso does seem to be a bit thicker than Superman's, but it does just kind of barely fit on there. So let's go ahead and point his toes straight down. And his legs only come together so far, but I might want to go ahead and like raise up one of the legs because that makes it look a little more like he's in flight. Looks pretty cool. Too bad he didn't come with a flight stand, because I think that would have been a nice touch. So we'll go ahead and put Superman back on it now. Superman has a bit more of a narrow waist than Black Adam does, because I guess Superman probably watches his cards or something. So overall, this is a great figure, and I'm happy to have it. I do have a few nitpicks about it. I wish they'd given the ball joints at the wrists, because it's just so strange to have a Mcfarlane figure without the ball joints, and I don't think that these joints that are on there, I don't think they look as well aesthetically as the ball joints look, and they don't move as well as the ball joints. I kind of feel like you can get a much better range of motion out of those. So I miss those on this figure, but other than that, the articulation is pretty much on point and what you expect of a Mcfarlane figure. You got an excellent likeness of the actor that it's supposed to be. It does look just like Dwayne Johnson. Like I said, I don't think a lot of that detail is coming through on that monitor, but he's got a lot of detail sculpted into his face. This is a great looking port. I've had a lot of different figures of this man over the years. From I had the original, not the Rocky Maivia one, but like the probably around like the Nation of Domination, like around that time. I had that figure of the Rock, and that likeness wasn't very good for the original Jakks Pacific toys, but they got a lot better, and eventually got to the point where they were like doing scans of the characters, and you know, I've got figures from GI Joe Retaliation of him as Roadblock, one of my favorite GI Joe characters, and I thought he was great in that. I enjoyed him as Roadblock. And those were really good likenesses too. But I think this might be the best one I've seen yet. I think Mcfarlane really nailed this likeness. That looks like him. So I like the glowiness of the Shazam bolt. I know that might not be accurate to what it looks like in the movie, but I think it looks really cool anyway, and I like it. You know, a lot of this tarnished gold brings out a lot of the detail to it. I think that looks good. His costume, I don't think is like a pure, true black. I think it's more of a really dark gray, and I think that's how it is in the movie too. But that's probably more so you can pick up some of these details that are sculpted into it. They didn't want to get lost or anything, but it looks pretty sharp. I'm pretty happy with it. So there's a lot more figures from Black Adam that probably going to be hitting retail soon if they haven't already. But my area always seems slow to get stuff. But when I saw these at the store, they were in the dump with the Superpowers figures, and they only had 3 Black Adam figures in there, and the other 2 were Dr. Fate and Atom Smasher, the regular size Atom Smasher. Like they also have Hawkman and another Black Adam that's got a hood. And I think they might have a figure of Cyclone, but I'm not sure. So anyway, but I'll probably be picking those up. I would like to have all the Justice Society members because I'm a big fan of them from the comics. So I definitely want to see more of the Justice Society. So I will definitely be buying those. And I think I'd like to have that hooded version of with the cloak of Black Adam, because I think that one's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this time. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Let me know what you think of this figure and Black Adam in general, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.